it's G from Native Speakers Academy, and on my mind is the art of conversation, which is one of those lost arts, I guess. As we enter the digital age, everything breaks up and we replace fluid history with bits and bytes of info, SMS messages, chat, and internet-based chat, and maybe emails as well. Just like letter writing. Letter writing is one of those lost arts. Nothing like getting a collection of letters that somebody wrote hundreds of years ago and then going through it. Quite eye-opening. Anyway, the art of conversation. What do you need to know about conversations? Most people, in my estimation, are not directly engaged in any of the conversations that they're having. I estimate 8 out of 10 people in all conversations are talking to themselves, not talking to the other person. You can observe this in how much they are willing to explore the other person's ideas by asking them questions in the conversation. Basically, anyone talking solely about their own experiences is not directly engaged in conversation. They are not really converse. Verse, that's an interesting part of the word, verse. Where do we find verses? Songs, poems, Bible passages, perhaps. Elements of verses should be elements of the conversation that help us to remember the main theme, but perhaps not the main theme itself. Anyway, most people are not fully engaged in the conversation. They are either talking with themselves or talking with their own voices in their own head. Perhaps finishing a conversation that they had or didn't have at some other point in time. You can recognize this through any illogical patterns that exist within the conversation. If someone spins off at a tangent, if someone tries to direct the conversation into topics familiar to them, it's not a real conversation, it's a manipulation. The real art of the conversation the art of the conversationalist is in being truly interested in what another person is saying, not in talking themselves, but in listening. It is listening that is the true art of the conversation. It's not speaking. And so those that are prepared to quest for information through listening, these are the real conversationalists. Listening, in essence, is a much larger part of learning than speaking. Naturally, of course. So, what else should we look for in conversation? people who answer their own questions. A lot of people who ask questions don't stop or pause or wait for an answer. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you that it's not a real question, and it also tells you that they're not interested. Because I know in my work with people, when I work one-to-one with people, that people need time to think before they give a response sometimes. People need time to ponder, to contemplate. It is sometimes worth giving people 5 to 10 seconds to process the question. What does the question really mean? To process the direction of the conversation, to link, to relate, to think carefully. We don't always want to say the first thing that comes into our mind. And then there are experiences of conversations that I've had where I feel that if I were not in the conversation, that it wouldn't make any difference. And you can feel if you sense and connect with the conversation, you can feel that disconnect. That point in the conversation where the conversation just vanishes. It just disappears. I don't know, those are my thoughts at the moment on what makes for an interesting conversation, what makes for a deep conversation, what makes for a real conversation. And it's something that people have to work on. Be interested. That's the key. Be interested in another person's words, in another person's thoughts, in another person's experiences, in another person's ideas. Do not be in the conversation for yourself. Be in the conversation for those around you. And